Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, burglars can get into your home by simply knocking on your door. We'll show you how to avoid this dangerous scam.
And they're still new, but this local favorite has reached a milestone in the restaurant biz. We'll bring you the details.
Then expectant moms and dads prepare for parenthood with a life-saving class.
Plus, young volunteers help honor 9/11 victims with an unusual memorial. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jacqueline Shepard, sitting in for Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. The National Weather Service is warning of dangerous surf at Southern California beaches. Over the next few days, officials say swimmers and surfers may experience very strong currents and dangerous swimming conditions. The warning impacts beaches in LA County as well as those in Orange and San Diego counties. Surf heights will vary from 2 to 5 feet with the possibility of up to 10 feet swells. Beachgoers should be mindful of rip currents, which can pull swimmers from shore. They should also be cautious about diving headfirst into the waves, which can hurl a person's body regardless of the wave size.
Spring buying pushed home prices up for a third straight month in most major U.S. cities. Chicago, Minneapolis, Washington, and Boston posted their biggest monthly increases. Areas hit hardest by the housing crisis like Las Vegas and Phoenix reported smaller increases. But despite this good news, experts say the market is still shaky. In fact, home sales are on pace to be at their worst in 14 years. From last year to date, LA County sales are down 4%, South Bay prices 9.6%, and Torrance sales are down 10.6%. Torrance fared somewhere in the middle in terms of year-to-year change. El Segundo may be the hardest hit city in the South Bay. They're facing a sales drop of more than 27%.
The state budget crunch is forcing California community colleges to chop $400 million from their budgets. And for some campuses, that means cutting classes down by 5%. As new students begin the fall semester, state officials estimate that 670,000 will be turned away because classes are full. And the result of these budget cuts seem to be a shrinking system. At El Camino College, even as demand for classes has risen, the student population has dwindled to around 24,000. Last year, the population was nearly 30,000, but there's good news for local students who were shut out of classes this fall. This spring, students from El Camino area will be allowed to register earlier than those from outside the area. That means they'll get a 1-month jump on registration.
Despite rising costs, most recent high school graduates believe that earning a college degree is worth the time and money. They also expect to have well-paying jobs after college. Those are the findings of a recent survey. Overall, the 1,500 high school graduates surveyed by a national nonprofit were optimistic about the future. Well, maybe they shouldn't get too excited. A study by the Economic Policy Institute found that entry-level wages for 2010 college graduates was lower than a decade earlier. After 2000, wages were tough on workers across the board, except for those at the very top. But detractors say even if college grads aren't better off now, they are still better off than without a college degree.
Well, the city of Bell issued swift justice to council members involved in that city's salary scandal. But is another city allowing corruption to go unpunished? That's what some people think may happen in the city of Vernon. Now, since 2006, 3 Vernon leaders have been convicted on corruption charges. 5 city officials made yearly salaries of more than $500,000, and part-time city council members were among the highest paid in California. About 100 people live in Vernon, and nearly all of them rent homes and apartments owned by the city. Many also have close ties to city leaders. So in an effort to permanently root out corruption, a group of lawmakers supported a bill to dissolve the city and make it a part of L.A. Well, this week, the controversial bill failed in the state Senate. Had it passed, it would have marked the first forced disincorporation of a city in modern L.A. history. Up next on This Week in Torrance, we'll tell you why this restaurant has reason to celebrate.
And expectant parents take a class to keep their future bundles of joy safe. Those details are coming up after the break.
Hundreds fear death.
A massive earthquake has rocked the city.
Worst natural disaster this region has ever witnessed.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer.
The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
Hello, I'm Dr. Regina Benjamin, U.S. Surgeon General. Breastfeeding is a preventive measure that can protect babies from illnesses and infections, and there are also health benefits for mothers. While 75% of American mothers start out breastfeeding, only 13% of babies are exclusively breastfed at the end of 6 months, and the rates are much lower for African American infants. Whether you're a grandmother or an employer, you can help make it easier for moms to breastfeed. For more information, please go to surgeongeneral.gov.
I'm bored. I think I'll ride my bike.
It may never be this easy to help your kids find balance, but you have more power than you know. For a free Parent's Handbook plus other resources, visit the WeCan website. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
As the revitalization of downtown Torrance continues, new restaurants and shops are opening on a regular basis, and at this rate, an area favorite might now be considered the old kid on the block. Reporter Jacqueline Quinn explains.
Richard Gomez is celebrating Tortilla Cantina's first anniversary as the restaurant's owner. He's proud of how far they've come. He says it's taken a lot of hard work.
It's been one long year of creating really delicious food, and we're happy to be here in Torrance.
One reason for the restaurant's success may be its menu, which offers a special take on Mexican cuisine.
It's not actually traditional Mexican food, but it is along the lines of American Mexican with a few twists.
Some of the twists on the menu include Cajun foods like fried shrimp and chicken, but the homemade tortilla and taquito dishes are still favorites with customers.
I like the taquitos. Those are nice. I have to have that crunchy stuff.
Customers like Susie Shurik are helping places like Tortilla Cantina revitalize downtown Torrance.
That's why I come here. I live here. This is my best entertainment place.
Gomez hopes locals will think of his restaurant as a Torrance destination.
It's a very casual, fun atmosphere where we get people that are just not sitting at their table, but they tend to know each other. It has a real local feel, so we get a lot of crosstalk between tables, especially over sports, stuff like that. So it's a fun atmosphere.
That was Jacqueline Quinn reporting. For more information, visit tortillacantina.com.
Food and small toys may seem harmless, but if they're within a baby's reach, they can cause a serious choking episode. So many expectant parents are adding CPR to their knowledge of infant care. Reporter Jennifer Wade takes us to Providence Little Company of Mary Hospital for their friends and family CPR class.
I'm hoping that as long as I know and I'm educated on it, I will know how to react in case of emergency.
Rosie Sunstead is expecting her first child and, like many, decided to enroll in the American Heart Association's Family and Friends CPR and AED class.
We are teaching basic skills for adults, children, and infants. Most of the clients or students that are here this evening are expecting parents, grandparents, maybe people that are going to be nannies.
I brought my nanny with me to take it today as well, and a grandparent, just because I just felt it could happen at any time. Babies can choke at any time.
One time when I was babysitting, I was probably 13, and the kid I was babysitting was choking, and I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of tipped him over and patted his back, and the food came out, but that's kind of like the memory that sticks with me.
They want to know what to do in case of an emergency, whether it be choking or even an allergic reaction and the child should start having respiratory problems. It's very important to them that the person knows how to take care of their child.
In addition to CPR, students also learn to operate an AED.
automatic external defibrillator is a machine that is now being placed in malls, airports, some restaurants, schools, gyms around the area, and they're being trained to use this particular machine. It is a lot better than just plain CPR.
And students reported positive feedback for the class.
I've never worked on an infant before, so it's just a whole lot different because the adult takes a lot more manpower than the child. So that was a little interesting because I didn't know that there was such a huge difference in that.
If you don't think family and friends CPR is for you, the hospital offers 2 other CPR classes.
We teach another class that is for hospital and medical personnel, and that's more technical. There's also a babysitting class here. It's called Super Sitters, which teaches the young kids about babysitting, what to do in a situation with children as well.
In case of an emergency, the most important thing to do is call 911 and ask for someone with proper training. This is the first step in saving someone's life. This is Jennifer Wade for CitiCABLE.
Thank you, Jennifer. There are 3 upcoming Friends and Family CPR classes, 1 in September and 2 in October. For more information, visit providence.org.
Many of us worry about burglaries when we're not at home, but what about when we are? Reporter Shantae Passmore takes us to a safety workshop to learn more.
No one wants their home to be burglarized, but it happened to Melody Hawthorne.
Long time ago when I was younger, someone came in my bedroom window and they stole a bunch of my albums by taking the albums out of the jackets and leaving the jackets. And I didn't know they were gone until I started looking for them.
Stealing albums may not seem like a big deal, but according to Torrance detectives, homeowners should be concerned with the level of access criminals have to some homes. Detectives held this burglary prevention workshop to offer some important safety tips.
Whenever a stranger knocks at our door, we tend to ignore it, but Torrance detectives say that's not a good idea.
While burglaries of all kinds exist, distraction burglaries are more common. During the workshop, detectives showed an example. Most often, the suspects work in pairs. One suspect comes to your home as a utility worker and will try to distract you by having you step out of your house. And once you're out, the other suspect comes in.
I think of, some of the events that have happened with me with people coming to my house and maybe they were kind of looking at the house to see if there's a way in or if there's maybe no one home.
Residents can reduce their chances of being burglarized by refusing access to their homes and property. Detectives say don't hesitate to ask for more than one employee ID. And if you're still not sure, contact the utility company and then make another phone call.
The main message that we like to give is that if you see anything suspicious, please call us. Call. Even if you're not sure if it's suspicious, let us come and decide whether it's criminal activity or not.
Detectives say your home security is measured by your awareness level.
So the better that they can be informed about what is suspicious or not in their community, the better they'll be able to protect each other.
And being informed about your community also means being alert.
The truth is that we're only as successful as the involvement of our citizens, the level of their involvement. The majority of the arrests that we make are directly as a result of them calling us to report suspicious activity.
And Melody Hawthorne is staying alert. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Shantae Passmore.
For more information on protecting your home, go to the Torrance Police Department's webpage on the city's website at torranceca.gov/TPD. Coming up, we'll tell you how a group of volunteers will commemorate the 10-year anniversary of September 11th.
It's your home, it's your dream.
it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
Time was, kids did what came naturally, spending free time running through the grass, exploring streams. Times have changed. Today's indoor kids spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. Outdoor play improves kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity, and could even make them better students. There's a reason they call it the Great Outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
Excitement is building around the city's upcoming centennial, and now the Torrance Centennial Committee has a great way for you to show your support. Baseball caps, tote bags, commemorative pins, and t-shirts, all adorned with the official Centennial logo, are available for purchase. Proceeds will go towards the Centennial events, and you can purchase items the Saturday morning and Thursday evening farmers market. You can also buy them online at Torrance Centennial website, and while you're there, be sure to sign up for the Lights, Camera, Action event. For just $5, you and your family can be a part of this historical gathering. Visit torrancecentennial.org for details.
Traveling back and forth along the Harbor Freeway can try anyone's patience, that's for sure. Well, the new Metro Express Lanes project should lessen congestion and give commuters more options. The project will convert the 110's existing carpool lanes to express bus lanes by fall of 2012. And as part of the construction, workers will remove current traffic lane markings and install new ones to serve as work zones. This new lane reconfiguration is currently underway, starting every night at 10 p.m. and should be completed by 6 a.m. on Monday, September 5th, weather permitting. Now, the stretch of the 110 that will be affected is between Adams Boulevard in L.A. and 182nd Street in Gardena. Drivers can expect delays during work hours, and several bus routes will be diverted. For construction-related inquiries, call 213-922-4200 or visit metro.net.
And finally, events to commemorate the 10th anniversary of September 11th will be held nationwide. Here in Torrance, young volunteers who don't remember the tragedy are helping with a different kind of memorial. Reporter Shantae Passmore explains.
Most kids look forward to the weekend, but there's a small margin of students who can't wait until Monday comes. And the reason is hunger.
Students who live below the poverty line are eligible for the program Title I. The federally funded program guarantees these kids will at least eat one meal for that school day.
They have feeding programs at their school from Monday through Friday, but there's no one feeding them on the weekend. So their last meal is on Friday.
Obviously, they're coming to school Monday and all they're thinking about is their snack or their lunch that the school is providing. So they're not thinking about school.
The South Bay Volunteer Center is trying to address this need. They're having a food drive which will also celebrate an upcoming anniversary.
And for September 11th, since it's the 10th anniversary, they really wanted to do something special that makes an impact on people who are less fortunate.
The Volunteer Center Youth Coalition plans to feed 9 families for 11 weeks starting September 11th. Families who have children under the Title I program will receive the food. Local high school students plan to collect 2,700 cans of non-perishable items before the anniversary date.
Every year, the Volunteer Center Youth Coalition does an event for September 11th. And in the past, they've really, paid tribute to the first responders that serve every single day. So the 10th anniversary, they wanted to kind of renew that spirit of service that the nation felt after September 11th.
Although September 11th happened almost a decade ago, Heather Ramirez vividly remembers that day.
They're all in high school, so I tell them that when it happened, I was in high school, and it was surreal. It was crazy. Many people who didn't go to school that day because, it happened early in the morning where people can still decide whether to go. But turning on the radios, there was not a single song on the radio. It was all just the emergency broadcasts.
Ramirez says that day felt surreal, but the unity within her community was real and authentic. The center's hoping they can honor that feeling through the drive.
So September 11th, it's on a Sunday from 10 to 1 o'clock. We'll be here, and it's just basically we're opening the doors up for everyone to donate food to these families.
And this memorial won't last for just a day.
September 12th is the actual packing day, so we'll need volunteers to pack the bags that we can deliver later on that week.
The Volunteer Center Youth Coalition is looking for food donations. They're also looking for volunteers with big hearts, much like those they saw almost 10 years ago. For This Week in Torrance, I'm Shantae Passmore.
Thanks, Shantae. To find out how you can donate or help, call the Volunteer Center at 310-212-5009. And that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jacqueline Shepard.
And I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.